we just continue to grow and grow. So that's quite positive, and we grow so much that we open a chapter in Brussels and also a recent one in Hasselt. So because Antwerpen is the origin of UX Belgium, so they have way more events during the year. So it's each last Tuesday of the month. In Brussels we do have 4, each second Tuesday of each quarter. And the next event in Hasselt is the 8th of October, if you want to go there to learn. And my name is Anaïs. I'm one of the volunteers, and also we are super happy and pleased to welcome our new volunteers too. And some of them are even here tonight. Can you raise the hand here, our lovely volunteer? Hello. Thank you very much. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to talk to us. We're here for that. And if you do want to be, if you want to see your face in the next slide for the next events, we are always looking for new volunteers. So if you want to join us to organize, we do have different tasks for, I think everyone can pick up any task they want to. And also within their own, we're not forcing people to work here. You can just pick up the amount of work you're willing to take. So if you want to join us, please say, just talk to us. Also, we are always looking for hosts. Tonight, we are welcomed by UX Republic. We're really lucky to have a super host, and they also hosted last year too, so it's the second time, yeah. And so if you are also in an agency and you think that could be a great add-up to your, I don't know, to the for where you work, you can also talk about that to your managers and see if you can host an event. And also, if you do have a topic in mind, if you did recently a nice presentation and you got good feedback about it, you can also challenge this and come talk about your topic here. I think the crowd is super nice here. People are super cool, and 50% of our job is not only designing but presenting things, defending point of view. So it's a great way to train. Also, we do have a nice Slack channel. You'll see dedicated channel for jobs, for if you have any questions, if you want to get in touch with the community or have updates about our events, it's here. So yeah, don't hesitate. And so our host of today, as I mentioned, is UX Republic, and Mathieu will give us a bit, some word about who they are and what they do. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you for hosting, for letting us hosting the event this year. So yes, I think it's 2 years ago we also hosted an event, and on top of that we also try to do what we call a UX Conf every year, which is also an event a bit like this one with leaders of UX. We had last year people from ELIA and Orange and AXA. It can also be really interesting for you, so don't hesitate to join when we do the next one, which is going to be probably, I'm not sure. We'll have to figure out it too, not planned yet. Thank you everyone for being here today. So I'm working for UX Republic, and we'd like to say that we do 3 things. So we do train and we coach. We do consulting. So we are a consulting firm in Belgium and also in Europe, but here we are based in Belgium, this team. And we do consulting for especially corporate companies, and we help them with user testing, strategy, research, it can be UI design, anything that can help them to build a maturity in user experience in their company. We train. So when you have a team, for example, you want to train them on user testing, we do it. Your hand. It's my hand. Changed hands. This one? Perfect. So, intention training for people from 2 people to 18 people. Last year we trained TUI, the planes company, and last thing we do is we coach also. So for example, we work for big corporates like Orange, and we train them to build repositories, or to stock their data, or to implement atomic research, these kind of things that can be really helpful when you don't have the knowledge internally. If you have any business-related questions, there's someone in the back called Theo Blondel. He can help you for any question you can have, and for any let's say UX-related questions, you can directly address it to me. I think that's it. Thank you, and enjoy the next talks.
Thank you, Mathieu. I will try with this mic to do it right. All right. Thank you again for having us tonight. I see there's some great snack and nice drinks already, so that's fine. I hope everyone got some. Of course, before the talks, we will say a few words about our lovely sponsors. So if you are looking for a job in the creative industry or the digital sector in Belgium, you can always look up in Creative Skills. And one of our first sponsor is Ariad. It's a group of HR people that will help you find the right role for you, and they always try to make a good fit. So thank you, Ariad and Creative Skill, for supporting us since the beginning. So the program of tonight, we will start with Emily, and she will talk to us about how to become a design velociraptor. I understand that she will do some analogy with Jurassic Park, so I'm really curious about this one. And also, we will do then a short break of 30 minutes. So please enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks, and connect to each other. I think it's the best opportunity to do it. And after that, Jason will talk to us about AI and how we can implement it. All the interaction, the trend, the reality, all the things about AI. And I can assure you it's not going to be, the 20th talk about AI you heard about. I know he prepared for us some interesting views on it. So yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. And thank you very much to be there for the talk. So, Emily, you can start, I think, if it's okay. And if you know how this works, si tu sais comment ça marche.
Yeah, we use this so that people can hear you at home. What you also can do is we plug this in, and you can have it in your second, and you can put this here. Would that?
I don't mind.
Okay, you
It's
don't
okay.
mind? Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Nope. Sorry. All right. Can you hear me well? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to UX Republic's offices. Before we dive into dinosaurs and how they relate to UX design, I would like to show you a little cinematic moment. I want to open with a little clip of Jurassic Park. So if you've seen the movie, you know that raptors are they're the smartest animals in the park. And so what happens when a hunter thinks he's outsmarted them? All right. That scene actually captures something that we experience as designers. The problems that usually takes us down are often the ones that are right in front of us, but they are hidden issues. So there are things that we didn't anticipate, and so that's our clever girl moment. And the question is, how do we survive in a world where problems always comes at us sideways? It's the problems that are the least expected. I think the answer lies in learning to adapt faster than the problems can ambush us. So that means smart prototyping, testing constantly, and finding weaknesses early and evolving rapidly. In design, as in Jurassic Park, it's not the biggest or the strongest that survive. It's the one who adapts the fastest. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself now, before we dive deeper. I've been working with UX Republic for 1.5 years now, and I've been fortunate to collaborate with amazing colleagues and learn and grow while also tackling UX challenges. Over the past year, I've worked with clients across different sectors. For example, transportation with STIB in Brussels or CFL in Luxembourg, but also retail with Decathlon or even chemical industry with ICL. And so all this variety taught me to adapt design methods to different contexts and different users. So that's a little bit about myself. Now let's zoom out from my personal journey and go into the bigger picture of UX. Because no matter the industry or the project, there's one universal truth, it's that we never get it right the first time. And so that brings me to Jakob Nielsen, or good guy, who once said, even the most talented genius designer can't design the perfect user interface in one attempt. And he's actually right. The world of projects live in is messy, and user needs evolve, the market shifts, competitors move faster than we expect, and so what feels brilliant today can actually be irrelevant or even broken tomorrow. If we design as if we're going to get it the first time, we're setting ourselves for extinction, just like the hunter. So, iteration is our survival strategy, right? Each cycle gives us a chance to adapt before those hidden problems ambush us. And so, one and done design is like building a fence in the Jurassic Park and assuming it's going to hold forever. Iteration means constantly testing this fence, the weak spots, reinforcing and adapting. And that's what keeps us designers, but also our design, one step ahead of extinction. So how do we put iteration into practice? Well, Nielsen Norman Group described 3 complementary strategies: parallel design, iterative design, and competitive testing. I actually forgot an I. I actually invite you to read their article on their website that explains way better than me all the process, but I will give it a try today and also show you an example of a project we did. I actually think these 3 strategies are complementary and they're more powerful when combined. parallel designs widens the field, iterative design sharpens the solution, and then competitive testing grounds it into reality. So together, they maximize your chance to design something that users truly value. Now, let's zoom in on the first strategy. Parallel design is about not betting everything on a single idea, right? So instead of committing to one solution, you generate several alternatives in parallel, of course, 3, 4, or maybe 5. But why does it matter? Because it actually breaks fixation, and instead of polishing your first idea that comes to mind, you explore multiple directions and later merge all the best elements. And so it can be produced by one or multiple designers. It doesn't really matter, but have at least 3 alternatives so your user can provide meaningful insights while comparing your design. And maybe not more than 5, because then user can get fatigued and cannot articulate the differences between the designs. Parallel design is actually different from A/B testing because it's not about finding a winner or finding the best design. It's about merging all the best elements, and so finding something here and there. Once you have the direction with parallel design, iteration designs sharpens it. So we all know the process: prototype, test, learn, adjust, and all over again. And so each cycle surfaces problems. It it validates fixes, and bring the design closer to the user needs. NN Group actually defines iteration as an intentional repetition of a step in the design process, with the goal of improving the design at each stage. So iteration is like reinforcing the fence, because the raptors finds the weak spots, and each cycle makes your design stronger. After each version, you conduct a usability evaluation, so it can either be user tests, interviews, heuristics, evaluation, it doesn't really matter. And so you revise the next version based on the findings. NN Group recommends at least 2 iterations corresponding to 3 versions, and no more than 5 users, because you're going to do tests later either way. The third strategy is competitive testing. This means testing alongside 3 or 4 competitors' products to see how it stacks up with the real world. It's different from competitive analysis or competitive review, whatever you call it, because it requires the design to be tested alongside your own design. And so by observing users switch between your product and your competitors, you can discover unmet needs or spot competitor strengths that are worth learning from. But this is important. It's not always possible to do competitive testing. Sometimes the competition doesn't exist yet, or we simply doesn't have access to the competition users or the competitor tools, for example, intranets. But that's fine, and it's a powerful method, but only if it's available, and so it's optional. Now, Let me share a project I did with ASD, which is the Aerospace and Defense Industry Association. They needed a member area for their members, for the community. And so they needed this space to collaborate and access information without getting swamped by thousands of emails. Keep in mind that ASD members are from different companies, so they don't have a common platform, and so at the moment they only have emails to communicate. So we applied the theory, and we actually started with a workshop to understand the member needs. It's where we explored multiple possible requirements. There were actually many. And so when we built the first prototype, and over the course of the project, we iterated 8 times. Between versions, we did 2 user interviews with 4 users each time. And here's the key. We didn't only iterate on the prototype, but also on the user interview protocol, so that our way of gathering feedback evolved as well. By the end, we delivered a member platform that were validated by the users and were aligned with the many requirements of ASD goals. And everything was achieved through continuous learning. In this specific case, we couldn't perform competitive testing because it's kind of intranet, so we didn't have access to the competition users, or this platform didn't even exist, so yeah. So you see, in less than 2 months, I took a small vacation in June, and I was also half-time on this project with my good colleague, Mathieu. In less than 2 months, we achieved to bring together a meaningful platform for the ASD members. But here's the catch. Nothing could have happened without speed. And so, actually, the prototype doesn't have to be the real thing. It just has to feel real enough to test. So, think of it like a facade in architecture. You don't need to build the whole house to see how it looks and how it works. You just need to see how it looks from the street, right? So the front wall alone is enough to spark a feedback from the users. Prototypes are the same. They're quick, disposable facades of an idea. And the faster we can prototype, the faster we can test, learn, and adapt. That's what keeps iteration alive. Using design systems and reusable components saves us energy to do just that, and so we can focus on solving real users' problems. Here, focusing on just the collapsible menu, you can see that the structure of the member area actually changed a lot from the beginning till the end. We don't even have the same pages, and that's we learned through user tests. For example, at the beginning we thought we have so many pages, we were going to use sub pages and groups, but it was actually more confusing for the users. all of this was possible through trial and error and rapid iteration and also user feedbacks at the end. It's the gold mine, users' feedback. Now, let's talk about the benefits of these three strategies. Well, combining all these strategies, this methodology keeps us anchored in real user feedback and instead of our own assumption. It also saves enormous cost by catching problems early before they become expensive mistakes. It also creates space for bold ideas because when failure is cheap, experimentation becomes safe and innovation can thrive. It also makes our design flexible. When requirements shift and markets change, we can pivot without breaking everything. It also reduces risk by steadily removing uncertainty, and it ensures continuous improvement, making each version stronger than the last. We're almost over. It grounds our decision in real data, not just opinions. And most importantly, there's momentum. So with frequent iterations, progress is visible, the team stays motivated, stakeholders see value early, and so they're happy, and trust grows. So all this combination of speed, evidence, and alignment is what makes iteration so powerful. So if there's one thing I hope you remember from tonight is this: don't bet everything on your first idea. Explore multiple paths in parallel, embrace iteration, refine, and evolve, and don't design in isolation. When you can, learn from your competition and the wider landscape, and above all, keep your cycle moving quickly. Because at the end, just like in Jurassic Park, the one who survives weren't the biggest or the strongest. They were the one who adapted the fastest. And us as UX designers, it's the same. Our survival, our relevance, and our impact depends on how quickly we can learn, adapt, and evolve our designs. So thank you for your attention. Now it's time for the questions. And also I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you have any experience doing these methods, I'd like you to share it. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. I will not see Jurassic Park the same way now, for sure. Does someone have a question in the audience? Can you raise your hand? Yeah? I will give you the mic. It's 2 mics.
How does it work?
Just one for the internet
okay.
and one for just us.
Okay. Thank you, Emily. I have a question about your left side menu. Does it work? No? Yeah. Okay. About your left side menu, how did you test it? With some card sorting test, or it was like prototype testing? How did you define that the first iteration with L1 and L2 navigation to just L1 navigation?
So we actually did user interviews with 4 users each time. And we actually created the first prototype thinking it would be the best idea and with assumptions. And at the end, the feedback from the users were that they were not going to go to these pages. They would not use these pages. And that's how we learned that some of the pages were not relevant. And some others, like the working spaces, the working groups, were super important. And that's what we had to focus on. I hope it answers your question.
question? Yeah?
Hello, Emily. Thank you for the presentation. I was wondering how you dealt with the recruitment of the 4 people that you tested each time. Were there 4 different people for each iteration? And if not, how did you tackle the? I guess the client would probably say, like, how are you making sure that the 4 people are as representative for our whole group?
So we were lucky enough that it was an internal platform, so we had access to the users directly. And so we asked ASD administrator, let's say, to contact themselves, their members, some of them at least, and some of them answered positively. And so we had to test also regular users like other companies that are part of ASD, but also the admins that are going to manage the groups or invite peoples, but that's a whole other topic.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Just a question. I see that the design cycles are quite long from the iteration that were there. So my question is, how did you keep, nearly 2 months. So how do you keep the momentum between the design cycle and the development cycle? Because I guess that there might be some development in the same time. And so how do you keep pace and how do you transmit the iteration between design and development?
So we actually didn't develop this yet. It's maybe a future project we're going to do at the end of the year with them. But they ask us to find the best functionalities that are essential for the members. And it was more like a research project than development, at least for this. Another question, maybe.
So I really liked it how you also thought about like don't stay in your bubble for too long. Don't wait for it to be perfect. And I can speak for myself maybe only, but also I do know quite some designers dealing with perfectionism, really wanting to just make the best possible, but really losing themselves in the process. And so, what would your advice be to not really be caught in that trap?
For me personally, I like to have others' opinion. I like to brainstorm with my colleagues a lot, and not just designers, but all kinds of profile. That's how the best ideas come from.
There's another question here.
So, of course, I'm a bit biased, but the question remains sincere. I really like the idea of the comparative design, doing several designs at the same time and seeing them and testing them in parallel. My question would be, where's the place of the ego in that? When you admit that the first idea that you have, which is my own bias, for instance, like when I see an idea, I really like it, and I want to go further with it, how easy or hard is it to accept that it might not be the right idea, and that you have to accept others' ideas or even your own ideas and challenging yourself within that design process?
It's actually a really interesting question, I think. As designers, I think we are all biased. But we have to give our suggestions, design suggestions, based on actual evidence. So if we do user interviews or usability testing, it's not for nothing. We have to use this data and put our egos to the side and yeah, just you have to argue with real evidence. For me, it's the most basic thing as a researcher.
Yep. Thank you very much. If there is no other question, there's one.
Maybe one more.
Yeah, one more question, and after, I think, during the break, Emily will be available for private question.
Thank you for this. I am curious to learn about any tips you have on. It seemed like here you were able to do all the iterations you needed to, but I've experienced times where stakeholders or clients like push back on timelines. They want things faster. So how do you persuade them or advocate for that possibility of iterating and putting more time behind each effort?
Oh well, it's the endless problem that we all have, right? I think the goal of these methodologies are to go fast, and so if you can have a rhythm, establish a rhythm to do tests regularly and to have real results and evidence fast, then you can show to your managers or stakeholders that's what you do or is relevant, and so you can justify your design changes. Yeah, like a good routine, I think, maybe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And now we do have half an hour for some drinks, some beverage, and is it working? Or
No, that's okay.
just gonna stay to work. So please enjoy, and we'll be back soon. Sorry.
Sorry, that was shouldn't have done that.
Let's see, break scene. Yes.
It's still half an hour.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit early. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, don't worry about it. You did well. So, yeah. No, the comes here. It's now looking back on. Well, it's okay. I just switched a bit with views, and then everything was fine. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we still managed to get something out of it. So yeah. All right.
to do something a bit less fancy to get this working. So it's the moment you start. What we have is let's see if I have. Yeah, we have HDMI that is enabled laptop that can simultaneously connect to the streaming and to the thing. But that's where it usually gets wrong. So
Okay. Well, so this is the online one.
yeah. So that's also something I wanted to ask you. So you can keep it like this, or you can plug this in and let's see. Oh wait, sorry. Or is it this one? Yeah, you plug this in and just put this over here, so you can just yeah. Let's just try it out. Can you?
This is the microphone.
Yes. Can you try sing?
1 2 1 2.
Okay, that's.
It's working.
It seems to be working. Yeah.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
massive input. Okay, so it should be good.
Okay, perfect.
Super.
It will be easier to handle because
Yeah.
I don't want any.
Yeah. The two mics.
Yeah.
I was a little bit too late by finding that.
Okay, can I put it there like this? Would it will work? Yes, looks like. Okay, nice.
Super. It's good that you have very compressed-full slides, so
Yeah.
it will be very easy for people to read.
Yeah, and it's like full screen like.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I will just grab something to drink.
Yeah. That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
So how are things for the rest?
Well, everything's good, huh? Like nothing special. Business as usual on most of the topics.
Okay.
Yeah. And you?
Yeah, also business as usual. Yeah.
Where do you work now?
At IO.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. But so far so good.
Yeah.
All the. Yeah, maybe you're gonna laugh, but.
Bonsoir. C'est possible d'avoir une eau pétillante ou quelque chose comme ça?
Qu'est-ce que vous avez pour voir comme des biens? J'ai vu Delta IPA. C'est trop bien. I don't know. I'm actually working back for a government client all of a sudden, but it's not like small, so it's going all right.
And is it like from the social security or?
It's do you know Bolsa? Bolsa?
Yeah.
Yeah. That comes. Yeah, that's Volt actually. So they do also a lot of platform services. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Then organizing this and a lot of other things. Then your schedule is full. Well, yeah, I don't have too much to say. I can't imagine what it is to.
Merci.
I couldn't imagine what it is to run a company on the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the life I chose.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Jason, but.
Quite a couple of Red Bulls and.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's really cool that you do it.
I said we should organize food or something soon in the city. I don't know when, but like a Thursday night or something like this.
Oh, that would be wonderful, yeah. I know last time my boss said on your birthday we're going to do something in August, so...
yeah, but that's Arnaud, that's not...
Yeah. He made us promises before, but yeah, it would be lovely seeing you guys again. So,
Good.
Yeah, but we treated the best meat after all the delicious food last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can organize this. It could be nice.
Yeah, because definitely because Nikolai was also already asking me if something was going to happen. So yeah, we should make work on that.
Yeah. Yep. See, this is why we do UX.
Yeah. Still never gets old. Yeah. So sometimes, yeah, amazing. Like we're so many years already a thing, and still people build so many stuff
Yep.
that you think, why?
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, that thing just works so well.
That's okay because AI will do everything one day.
Well, yeah, I think it will be somewhere in between what all the people are claiming now on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you are studying it at a deeper level, so what do you think it's going to be?
But so here I would say the evolution of the market is like towards AI as a companion, but as an integrated companion.
Yeah.
Which means that every time that you want to make an interaction or something with a product or a service, AI will be there as a watchguard, if you prefer. And so, for example, if I want to order something and I want to order some nutrition food or something like this, and I'm following a fitness objective, I can just enter in a small prompt box saying like, I would like to know if this product is compatible with my keto fitness plan. And so AI will be able to tell, okay, yes, do you want me to add this to the basket? Yes, and then go to the purchase flow. And so all the AI now is following like either an invisible aspect, which is like, I've got some examples in the presentation, which is, for example, in Google Photos, for example, when you type birthday in the search bar, it will find all the birthday pictures that you have. And you don't need, and like the AI is in the background. So it's like fully integrated.
Yeah.
When you go on maps and it does the different itinerary, this is AI also, because it's planning according to traffic, according to time and so on.
Yeah.
But it's not written like AI navigation. It's just like maps. See? And so this is all the spirit behind how AI is integrated. Like either you show it to the user as a customer-facing prompting system, either it's invisible and in the backend processing, allowing the user to benefit from AI without knowing. So yeah. But that's the full presentation I'm making. Like it's it's all about this and how the industry is transforming from a reactive paradigm to a proactive one, where AI is anticipating user needs and not waiting for a bug to happen to make the software evolve.
And being like away from deterministic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Just also to see all the visions that currently are out there.
Yeah.
I should also be getting more deep into this topic.
It's a super interesting topic because like it will change the world forever, if I can say. And
because, you know, I'm really interested in AI as a technology to change interaction patterns, but to start using AI, sometimes I have to kick myself in the butt to do it.
Yeah. And if you have to do that, it's because it's not seamless and it's not integrated in your experience. So yeah.
So, yes, we are going to start in 5 minutes. if
Yeah,
that's all right.
perfect.
I'm just going to do my rounds and then we'll get to it.
Yep. Vas-y, donne tout. Ouais. Brand. Jason Brand. Ouais. Tout le monde me le dit. Ça, soit agent secret. La moitié de ma famille est en Angleterre. Moi, j'ai un père anglais. Donc c'est un peu cheaté, mais... Cul sec.
So, in this stage, there will be soon Jason, who is the co-founder and CEO of
Usage.
Usage. Sorry.
Voilà.
So maybe. Oh, wait, so the mic was on.
Là. Il est là.
Oh, okay. Are you ready for the second part? Good. So open your ears and let's start.
Hello, thanks a lot. Okay, so hello everyone. So I hope the presentation won't be too long. It will probably be, but I'm very passionate about. So we are going to talk today about how products are evolving into an AI-first interaction. And the goal of that is to present you a couple of concepts, a couple of patterns that are emerging from this new approach of AI as a foundation. So before that, who am I? So I'm Jason. I'm a co-founder of Usage, which is a research repository powered by AI. And I'm also super passionate about AI as a topic. And here, so I'm giving speeches and I'm doing some research about this. So for today's presentation, we have 4 parts. So the first one will be about the foundations. So where are we coming from when we are talking about AI? Then we'll have a second part about the B2B AI revolution and how SaaS products are adapting to an AI-first model. How can UX become a differentiator in all this? Because every product is looking the same now. And how B2C AI future is building itself from the heritage of the B2B innovation. So let's start with the foundations. So even today, you still receive these kind of emails, and well, the foundation are starting from like only 5 years ago, so this is not like super ancient history. And we can see that before we were making some templates about how we reach to people, how we make some outreach sequences, and so on. And it was all about manual intervention. When we take a look at how companies were investing in general, we were having some topics around like CRM platforms, productivity tools. Security was about creating the best VPN ever, well, rather than taking a look at how to detect threats. And the B2B interaction was relying mainly on manual interaction. So now that we are at the start, I would say, of the AI area, we have 2 paradigms that are showing up. So before that, we were waiting for a bug to appear before we make an evolution in the product. Today, companies are more anticipating how users behave in order to make some new implementation, I would say, even before the bug would appear. So how the B2B AI revolution is going. So this is what happens today. So in only 2.5 years, AI reached about 1.8 billion global users, and 78% of organizations are using AI in at least one business function. This means that the adoption of AI has been quite crazy, and what we see today is that there is a shift in the digital product building. So industries are not like experimenting anymore, they are transforming. And so now, like 90% of executives are increasing the AI as
in the next 3 years. And so the question we ask now is not should we try AI, but is how fast do we scale towards AI? So if we take a look at some use cases, so I did a bit of research on top products around AI, and if we take a look in the patient care, we have some startups that are creating some AI-first interaction regarding, for example, analysis of medical data, and it can process over 1 million medical images daily, which is something that humans will never achieve. So it means that there is a shift in how the experience of the different products that we see today is shifting toward an AI-first interaction. It also reaches some industries and some sectors that are super regulated. So if we take a look at the chemical sector, so AI is way more experimenting into how do we anticipate and reduce maintenance costs, for example. So I had this example where the adoption of AI was about making a digital twin that would allow to anticipate and reduce maintenance cost. So if we take a look globally, so there is this beautiful graph from Accenture that shows that the AI maturity has gained a lot of points in only 3 years and is touching nearly every sector. So it means that every sector at some point will have an AI maturity diagram. And so it illustrates how the impact about all this is transforming user interaction. And that SaaS owners understood it pretty well. And so if we take a look today at how SaaS are built, so 60% of enterprise SaaS have AI features, of course. And that's probably their first argument when they try to sell it. And 95% of organizations are expected to adopt AI as coming from a SaaS product. So what we see today is from a SaaS perspective, so if we are on the other side of the card from the enterprise model, SaaS are rebuilt around AI. So before it was we plug AI and we said we are an AI product. Today we see that AI is reshaping the whole product. And we have a couple of examples. So if we all know the Figma, I don't know if you guys watched the config this year, but even if it's not perfect, the message is quite clear. AI is, for Figma, AI is becoming the center to make Figma as a full stack AI-powered design platform. And this is not the only example. We've got GitHub Copilot that has quite a lot of developer activation across the whole organization. And we've got also on CRM part, to refer to the first part of this presentation, Breeze and Einstein that are two copilots that have been now the selling value proposition. But what's the reality check? So if we take a look from different angles. So there is the first one, which is about trust. So if we take a look at the trust index that we have, only 1 in 4 are trusting AI for critical decision, which means that the adoption is still low because of trust issues. But if we take a look of general product information, we are 1 out of 2. About transparency, to increase the trust, people want to know if they are talking to an AI, and they are quite open with that. So here, the goal is to avoid deception. When I'm talking to a customer support, if I know that I'm talking to an AI, we will avoid probably deception, knowing that after I get my answer. What about from the experience perspective? So here are quite some figures. So 91% of AI users are using the AI tool for every job, no matter the complexity. So if I want to make my shopping list, if I want to make something for work, I use AI just as my super copilot. But the thing is, from an experience perspective, as long as I get a wrong answer, I will probably search for a new AI tool. And this is changing the churn logics, because as long as I get something wrong, I will try and seek for one AI that will give me my expected answer, I would say. And so this creates some standardization of interaction patterns for companies and platforms. So what we see today from an experience is this kind of layout everywhere about, okay, you are super creative, you are an amazing person, and you are able to prompt your own system to get your own answers. So if we take a look from a consumer perspective, so if we shift to a B2C approach, we can see that today 80% of e-commerce business are planning to use an AI chatbot in the coming months, years. But the thing is, they are all using the same algorithm behind. So we could imagine, like, for all like B2C marketplace, people could land on exactly the same results at the end. And this is causing a super homogenization across entire sectors because everything is template-based. So if I search for a specific product on multiple marketplaces, I will probably land every time on the same answer because at some point homogenization will be a key. So how do we get out of this? Which is basically my super AI that is trained to create some variety. UX could be an option, and UX could be a key to AI differentiation. So AI capabilities would be the same for any kind of business at some point. And so UX design could be the way to make difference between user interaction in different products. So if we take a look just back at how user-centered fundamentals are built, so today we've got some new elements coming up. So user fundamentals are around human needs, abilities, and control. And I just put the mental model just because we will come back to this later. But the mental model is basically how we create expectation for the user, the reality occurs, and if I got my right answer, I'm convinced, and the mental model works this way. So if we take a look, my input pattern that we show everywhere, so this is one UX way to have something that is easy for the user, which means that I've got templates. So I've got an ID, one of the templates that is below is showing me, okay, my ID is already prompted in the right way. So in fact, this will mean that from a user perspective, I gain control, I gain ability, and it answers my need. So we've got this mental model loading in. If we take a look from a progressive assistant layout, so you might have seen also this, but this from a UX perspective, it's about how you not disturb the user from the current interface, but you augment the fact that the user is able to create more content, activate more features, and so on. There is another pattern, which is the processing thinking, sorry. The processing thinking, it's about how you show steps to a user to reassure him. And so this is about gaining control. So if we take a look at the previous slide, we are on the control phase. And finally, there is another one that's related to control and abilities. It's about how you iterate on the answers. And so this is typically the Midjourney interface that allows to have some iterative refinement with easy editing. So it's easy, I've got the ability to edit my answer, and I gain control because I'm leading the reflection. But if we take a look at the trust around all this, so we have this beautiful wheel that has been created that shows how can we make a trustworthy AI. And so here, if we take a look at the transparent and explainable part, this is about how you indicate to the user how I'm thinking as an AI trying to answer your problem. And so here we can see that AI can recommend stuff based on what has been done before, or the type of writing you expect, and so on and so on. So how AI is finally integrated. So we've got first conversational interface, so when you can chat with AI and get your answers. So it's typically the Microsoft Copilot. We have contextual AI in existing tools. So it's typically what Apple's released about the AI features. And we've got the invisible one. And so this one, I would like to spend a bit of time on it. It's how you make AI as material, like if you had electricity. So if we take a look at 4 examples from Google side, when you search for a picture in Google's photos, all you type is birthdays, for example. And the AI in the background will automatically search your library to show you birthday picture. But you don't type, I want to see people partying with a candle and a cake in front of me. So that's typically an example of how invisible AI is working. Smart Compose is also another use case, which is about how I make text prediction, but as it is super integrated in the user experience, don't feel that is AI. It's not like AI composition of emails. Same thing for Google Maps. It's not AI navigation because it's integrated in your daily life. So there is one last pattern, which is the agentic workflow pattern, but this one I won't spend a lot of time on it. But it's mainly how you make everything invisible for the user and facilitate the response acceptation. And so how B2B innovation is becoming a standard on the consumer part. So if we take a look at this, we've got some KPIs about how GenAI is accepted and engaged in user experience. And so, well, these two are interesting. So 71% of the users interviewed are willing to have integrated AI in their shopping experience, and 75% are open to AI recommendation. Like 1 out of 2 is a bit like a foggy one in the middle, but well, at least the KPI was there. So what are consumers expecting now from a B2B part? So if we take a look, users are now expecting something that is super smooth and seamless, which means that they expect a multimodal experience, which means that at some point, AI might talk to me, I might chat with someone, I might chat with an AI, but everything is supposed to be integrated in a common experience. And the proactive AI assistant, so this is about how AI is becoming proactive to me. So when I ask something to a support channel, for example, I'm able to see that the AI knows me, knows what I'm searching for, and this is the proactive AI assistance. So this, I did a screenshot of Fin, which is the Intercom AI customer solution, and this is like their key product now. But consumer readiness is not there yet, which means that still 80% of the users prefer human interaction over machines. So there is still a barrier about how users are like considering AI as an interaction service. And so 71% are worried about data privacy and security, and 63% don't see need of AI in the daily life. So this, of course, is depending on generations, on customer segments, and so on. But in order to secure all this, there is one good thing that at least happens in Europe, is the EU AI Act that allows to classify all the risk related to AI, which means that there is an ambition at some point to have AI as a globalized service. There is this AI evolution that is about where we are today. So specialized tools are going mainstream. This is what we see today with all this chatting interaction and what we see in daily products. And then we will progressively evolve to something that is fully automated. And this is what we saw, I think 2 months ago, when OpenAI released something where agents are now able to book flights, book hotels, and so on. So we are at the automation step. And slowly, voice is getting in the game, where people are now having integrated voice assistant that are using AI. Then we've got the multiplayer AI experience. So this is about how we facilitate human connection with AI. And finally, we have the physical AI enters home. This is all prospective, but at least it's a direction and a path where it evolves. So if we summarize all this, for the B2C at least, so the success in the B2C AI is about where to focus. So we don't need to focus on every aspect of the life of a consumer, but focus only on what matters. What to build is complete solutions, not just chatbots. The goal is not just to plug an AI, but to make it streamlined into the user experience. With what advantage? So data and memory will be the key to success. And how to win trust is to be honest about AI. It's just like, as a user, I want to know if AI is in front of me, and being transparent will help everyone. One insight is also the monetization gap. So I don't know if you know, but 97% of AI users are not paying for premium features. So this can be a huge scale for opportunity, because conversion is the key when you speak about AI. And finally, the transformation from B2B to B2C is the next chapter in digital revolution. And we can consider it maybe as the mobile internet was a couple of years ago. And today, well, in the next 2 or 3 years, probably that B2B heritage will become B2C daily standard. Thank you for your attention. Any questions?
I have a question. You were talking a lot about building trust and understanding how you can do that so that people will use
Yes, thanks a lot. So about, I don't understand this logic. Un, deux, ouais. Okay, so about the trust part, so I came back to this slide because this was a super interesting one, and probably that if you take a look at the insights from Deloitte, you will see the full report about this. But building trust is something that is super hard because AI is now super popular. So it means that now I would say the paradigm that you have is that some users will be super in AI, so they will trust a bit blindly, I would say, and they will evangelize all this for the non-trusted part. So from an insight perspective, how companies are now dealing with trust is about being transparent. So you won't be able to increase trust for users that are skeptical, because they will remain skeptical. But if you show the processing part, like how AI is thinking in steps, how AI asks questions about something is not clear in your prompt, so can you please clarify, and so on, this will increase the trust, because the user will feel reassured about how AI is thinking towards my problem, and it's not thinking only on its side. So this will reduce hallucination, as you mentioned, but this will also bring more clarity into how AI is working, because today, the symptom of AI is the black box effect. It's like I ask something, I get a response, hopefully it's right. And today, the fact that AI is able to provide sources, to provide some elements related with how I'm thinking about your questions, we have some elements that increase the trust, but again, it's about how you're being transparent more than just trusting it. Peut-être je réponds comme ça après. Hein. Ouais.
Thank you for your talk. I was wondering, I sometimes have the impression that a lot of companies, when they talk about AI, they fixate on large language models and the kind of chatbot interaction.
Yep.
Do you think this might be kind of a fixation that limits companies? And I'm thinking about a previous talk that Emily gave about parallel design. And sometimes I think the real problem with today's AI hype is that when companies think about AI, it's about the chatbot solutions. While I'm as a student in AI, I can assure you that it's maybe 3% of what we're interested in. There's a lot of different things. And in your opinion, do you think what could be possible ways to kind of maybe broaden the scope of the companies to think about the solution? To maybe give an example, you gave a beautiful example about cancer detection, which is a completely different technology from large language models.
Yep.
And they came to the solution because they thought broader, they
Yep.
thought about different kinds of approaches. But I was interested in maybe your perspective on,
Yep.
on this issue.
So I would say the chatbot effect is like the historical version. It's like having this little pop-up on the side that opens up to customer support or whatsoever is like the easy way. And when you think about companies trying to expand into AI practice, well, I will use an existing pattern. Why I would try to change my user experience? We've got plenty quantitative data, we've got plenty KPIs that we monitor every day to make sure that we sell products. So I would say companies were trying to get the lowest risk on testing AI, which is basically, if I put it there and users are happy, well, we are doing AI, so my job is done. But what we see now is that the chatbot effect has come to an end, which is, okay, users have so much used chatbots and so on, that the trust behind all this is lowering. And so now people are expecting, when I open a chatbot for customer support, for example, that it's an AI searching in the FAQ system. So this is slowing a bit. So now companies, and that's the example I showed earlier, are searching into how to integrate AI as electricity. It's really this image you need to have. It's like AI won't be something that is visible for the user, but something that will be processing in the back. But this, of course, you can imagine it's super costly, because it's about how you rethink the product and how you integrate AI as one core foundation of how your product will behave. So if we take a look at White Rabbit, for example, with the mammogram system, here the AI is one of the super foundation brick that is building the product. If you remove AI, the product is dead, basically. So I would say it's something that, if we take a look back, AI is only 5 years ago, if we can tell. I would say the popularization of AI. But if we take a look at how companies evolve, at the rhythm of enterprise companies, like it will take ages before we can have something that is AI first built. And that's why like products are evolving to an AI first interaction. So I would say that if I need to recap, so first they used chatbot because it was the lowest risky solution and it was super easy to implement. Like you plug ChatGPT, you plug your FAQ, and you're doing AI. Now companies are shifting into a model where AI becomes the foundational brick, and you need to have the AI as a foundation to create value for your end user. But this is costly, so it will take quite some years to achieve. But we see today that some startups and some like even SMBs and so on are shifting their whole product strategy towards an AI first vision. And this is helping, of course, to achieve like this, but it will take time. It will take a lot of investment. Like we need to consider that all AI companies today are not profitable because, of course, AI is costing huge amount of money to implement. And so the return on investment today is something that is always super foggy. And so that's why like companies are quite shy to implement this kind of approach. It's because the risk is too high. We don't have the control today. And this is what I show there. It's like, how do we have the control on it? How my user has the ability to use the full potential of AI. And so, yeah, this is about how it evolves from a simple chatbot interaction to a full AI product in the next few years. Yes?
When you say cost to implement, do you mean is the compute power and
Both.
or R&D of figuring out what does AI mean as electricity?
Yeah. So there are two aspects. Like, so what I meant with AI as electricity is like, you go home, you just put the light on, the lights go on. You don't see the electricity go to your light processing, thinking, oh, I go in the compensator and blah, blah, blah. You see? And so the AI will become at some point as fluid as electricity is powering lights. But if we go back to the question about cost, so today, the two costs that are the most, I would say, dangerous for a company is humans, so skills, people, and of course, computational technology. But all about like reflecting models and so on, if we take a look like on how today AI is implemented, it's not native models. So it's basically you plug an LLM or you plug something that will work in your product. And so I would say the majority of the products today are plugging LLMs and using like OpenAI, Anthropic, Perplexity and so on as their combustion engine, if you want. And so today, the fact that this is hosted apart from my product is representing a risk because of course my data is going out and it's coming back in and so on. But I would say the main cost today is the security we have behind implementing this kind of technology because like skills today are super hard to find because like everybody is an AI specialist today. You can see on LinkedIn, everybody is an AI whatsoever. And so like gaining the trust on who you hire and like at what salaries, because like as long as you put AI on it, you can add 100K on your annual revenue. And this is something that companies have understood. And so I would say that there is this whole pataugeoire, I don't know how you say that, but like people are just, circling around somewhere, trying to find the good skills, the good elements, but this is costing some money, like just in general about testing, trying to prove some stuff and so on. And so the money is just burning like crazy into implementing AI. And this is why today the rhythm are completely different. Because I need I still need to generate revenue, but I also need to stay up to the rhythm of AI. And so this is not working all at the same pace, I would say. So, yeah. Ali, what question you will ask you?
Not a question, it's a remark on the danger of AI. It's like when we pay a token, we pay maybe only 10% of the real cost.
Yeah.
So as a company, we build a model on AI. Of course, we resell as a SaaS business to our end client. And tomorrow, if all those LLMs start to really charge us the real price, we are super dependent for them, it's too late. And then suddenly, our margin is gone.
Yep.
And, that slide, because you always show the right slide, but with a few LLMs, there's not many of them that are really good, You can go and use DeepSeek, but you don't know.
Yeah.
So there's a really
This one.
danger of dependency from all of us to those people that undersell now, but when at the moment some find the bubble is going to crash, they say, now you're going to pay the real price, and then we're all screwed.
I mean, it's a remark more than a question of.
Yes.
Everybody starts to be more and more dependent on these guys.
Yeah.
But at some point they're gonna Donald is gonna say, "Oh, Meta, charge a real price."
Yeah, because most of the AI providers like LLMs today are working because they've got investments and they've got like 600 million investment. So of course they can sell API tokens at 0.002. But if tomorrow they say one token is $1, everybody disappears. So this is also a fact that AI is has a volatility parameter that needs to be taken into account, and it's part of the risk management for companies that are using LLMs as their core engine. So you've got two options here. Either you put the LLM on your own servers, but but wait for the price of the AWS invoice at the end of the month. And so this is one option. Or you build some accord cadre with OpenAI and so on. But this, again, the prices are quite crazy. So I would say there is no best option, but it's a reality that we are landing in today, and we need to take that into account, as enterprise architects. And also from a UX perspective, if tomorrow you charge twice the price because your user asks if a protein bar is containing as much sugar, this will be a problem. So this needs to be also taken into account when building interfaces. I don't know the timing, Simon.
Yeah, we still have some questions.
Okay.
Some time, yeah.
My question is about the numbers that you used in
Yeah.
the presentation. There were a lot, and they're
Yeah.
very impressive. And I gather that they come from the Deloitte study.
Or plenty. Yeah? I read a lot about AI, so I put the sources a bit everywhere. But if you take a look, here, so it's from Capgemini, BCG. So all of these numbers are European and US market.
Okay, that's
Voila.
what I was going to ask because.
So it's not Asian market.
Okay.
Just to,
Because
yeah.
That kind
Of course.
reframes
Yeah.
the statements that you make.
Yeah.
Because if it's just Europe and USA, that's not the whole.
Yeah. No, it's like considering the 1.8 billion that were showed at the beginning. This is like worldwide. But here the numbers were focusing on US and Europe market that are the most representative of how it's evolving, even if the US is less regulated than the EU. And that's why we have the AI Act that came up that opens a bit like the way AI is digested and adopted in Europe. Yeah.
There's also one question from the audience online. So if the goal is to make the AI invisibly integrated, to make it a core building brick, basically, how do you work on ensuring that users can opt out if they want to?
That's a really good question. That's a really good one. I don't have the answer, honestly. But from what I read, so basically when, it's all about how you give the freedom of control to the user. So for example, if we consider the buying experience is the most common use case that we have today as an AI show up. But if we have a buying experience where AI is integrated into the full buying flow, so starting from I'm searching a product catalog to I'm buying and paying with my credit card. And so if we take a look at this full process, of course, the AI patterns that you will discover in the flow would be I'm helping my user to search in the catalog. Once he finds his product, I can create his basket. Once his basket is created, then I can process the payment because I have the information of the user as a payment option. Now the question relies on, okay, is AI supposed to be allowed to pay for me? But what we see today, we've got that with Amazon. And for example, if you already configure your payment details and so on, you can buy with the voice. And Alexa is doing a wonderful job to buy toilet paper for you and make it deliver the next day. So I would say that these patterns about how AI is integrated are already kind of present in all this kind of interaction. But of course, having the possibility for the user to tell, leave me alone, I want to do my buying experience alone, is something that is part of the trust. And one second, I'm just going to go back to my wheel. So we've got the privacy, we've got the safe and secure, and we've got the transparent and explainable. So with these three aspects, companies should take into account that at some point my user would like to disable AI suggestion, AI recommendation, AI guidance, blah, 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 into their experience. But this
of course, needs to be taken into account. I don't have concrete examples of today how this is working because companies are pushing towards AI. And so today, they don't care about the user, let's say. They are more like, okay, I need to sell more. I just put my AI endpoints. I see that the conversion is increasing. My job is done. So they are not even wondering, like, if we take a look at the privacy of my user, how this is supposed to work. But yeah, that's a super interesting point. And I think, like, well, there might be some papers that have been published on how companies are taking into account the privacy part of this. But yeah, I don't have concrete examples tonight.
But I think on that, one of the issues, like from a UX point of view and a privacy point of view, we say let the user opt in, don't make him opt out. And so we can take the example of Figma when they launched the AI.
Yep.
They said, hey, we're going to check everything except an organization because they're paying way more money, so we don't care. And if you don't want to do it, you have to go in the setting
In the set,
admin
yeah.
panel that is probably managed by a shady part of your enterprise that you're
Yeah.
putting in the middle, that they have to opt out. Then they didn't launch the feature, so you forget about that.
Yeah, and then they launch
And
it
now
again.
suddenly
Yeah,
they check and
yeah, you're right.
oh no.
But that's clearly a dark pattern from Figma. Like the fact that they hide this after the scroll and so on, put a different title saying like, oh, we might observe your files before blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but again, companies are trying to sell more because AI is creating market volatility and like, yeah, they want to avoid user to churn. They want immediate results. And so, yeah, that most probably is the reason behind the dark pattern for that. Is the AI option payable? Like, how much is it? No, it's included. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, so it's becoming a financial. Yeah.
Like what you do as
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing is free.
But it's also like it means it's another fight that UX will have to have with companies.
Yeah.
Like to defend this user.
Leo in the back.
Yes, another question I would have is towards a bit the audience. I mean, for you to answer a bit concerns a bit audience, the future perspective of UX people.
Yeah.
A few months ago, there was another UX peer at Naman. And basically, their lead UX said that the future of UX people would be to train AI and to do reality checks so that they would have a more user-centered behavior, which I found a bit sad, to be honest, in
Mhm.
perspective, as the world of UXer is more to understand human behaviors, in my opinion. Advice. What do you think about it? How will it evolve? Do you see the same pattern and the same direction as he did? Of course, I'm summarizing a lot.
Mm.
How do you see? I mean, you talk about the role of UXers into AI, into shaping. How do you see it tonight? How will it evolve? And does the profession need to evolve itself to stay alive? A bit like when you said, against those predators against us, or does it need to stay the same and defend its core values, which is understanding human?
Yeah. So, again, for me, I'm not a true believer of AI will do everything. Simple example. Do everybody knows Lovable? This beautiful blah blah blah. Attends, this one. So I tested this as part of my exploration, and so I was like, okay, let's create a marketplace. Simple prompt. I did all the expectation of, okay, I need a user profile, I need blah, 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 blah. The prompt was super huge. I started to think, to build screens and so on. The thing was UX horrible. Like it was not even something that user could use. So I think there is, so again, this is quite a young startup. It's normal, the model will perfect and so on. So I'm not saying like this won't happen, but at least the human feeling and the human like understanding of how users will behave with a product will always be needed. Like I don't believe in AI working alone on a product, trying to code, to debug, to understand user research, convert the user research into inputs for in a world of today, I don't believe it. But then what we see is all things related to like how the UX job will evolve. And so if we take a look back here on the different interaction patterns, so it's about how AI is integrated into the different products. This one. So every time we want even to have like conversational AI, contextual AI, and so on, it's the job of the UX to determine which endpoint will be impacted by AI. So it means that even if you even if you put a UX and AI speaking for a full year, I still believe that if you don't understand what you want to achieve as a business, what the user needs to achieve as a customer experience and so on, and position AI strategically on specific points of the user journey, this will never work because you will either overload the user, either bring AI to a space where AI is not needed, and so it will create more confusion than anything else. And if we take a look like at this is a pure UX miracle, I would say. Like the capabilities to say in my Google Photos, like I don't say AI photos, like this is just my pictures. And so this is about how AI is becoming transparent and super fluid into interfaces. But interfaces are still there. So it means for me that UX is there to make sure that the experience is on point, including AI as a fluid component. So again, I'm not saying that AI will replace UX one day, blah, 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 but I'm just saying that as of today, AI has not the maturity of understanding how UX is working and how the endpoints you will impact with AI will create customer value. But we'll talk about this in 20 years. Yep.
Does this mean that eventually the knowledge and the precision of AI will just at best plateau and generalize more and more, force the user to average of responses? And is there an actual solution to that? Because humans are producing less and less and relying more.
Yes. Yep. And that's exactly that, is the homogenization pattern, which means that at some point, and again, I'm not blaming users of AI because like it's super easy. I mean, I want to create a song for a birthday party. I'm able to ask ChatGPT, create a song for this birthday, and it will generate it to me. So I'm not being creative. I'm using AI as a super creative director to build my song. And so this is a change in the human condition of saying AI is becoming my second brain. And the problem with that is that as UX, technically, we are able to bring criticism. We are able to tell, okay, let's try this version, and let's test that, and so on and so on. Now, if AI is able to generate my screen and tell me, this is the good solution, why not believing it? And like, this is really a bias that is like changing the way UX is living through companies. Like, at some point, UX might risk to become like super standardized and everybody will deploy the same patterns. Buying experience, everybody will have the buying experience. So what would create conversion then? Like, is it because I make it accessible to the user? Is it because like my product catalog is displayed differently? But if we take, like, if we project this as theory and we go to N+ years, at some point, all the patterns will look the same. And this is like the condition we are going to. Like every way we ask even questions to GPTs today is becoming a standard. I would like to blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And this is already the start of something where UX is becoming, I would say, a new, like, same pattern. And tomorrow, if I want to create innovation, this will become super hard. Because even AI that is learning across other AIs will probably tell me, oh, this is the good solution. This is innovative. This is something new. This is something we've never seen. You deploy it, and the next day you will see the same thing on a competitor. And so this is something where I don't want to alarm anybody, of course, but like, keep the criticism and keep your inner feelings into, okay, AI is giving me one option. It's easy to say this will be the option, but let's take a step back and say, okay, if AI is giving me this first thing, I will iterate on that. I will try and tweak it. I will try and have something that is maybe less AI oriented or stuff like this. And so the fact that AI could become invisible is making us think of, okay, AI is there, it will be the processing pattern of my user experience, but now what is my user really experiencing? And this is why we are here, I guess. Thank you.
Maybe one more thing before we wrap up. So yeah, also thanks to our great hosts to help this event with us today. And there's more to come for you as well. So we will be back on the 30th of September at the office of ICAPS in Antwerp. And we'll also come to Accenture the 14th of October. So we will hope you stay here, have a good conversation, and hope to also see you in the future. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
That's great, Jason.
Yeah, like it?
Yeah. Salut Clémence, oui. Moi.
Ouais, excuse, une French, c'est
Ah, oui, ça touche, ça me confond toujours aussi, oui. Alors.